You can't create a piece of paper that says, okay, you promised to kill me. It doesn't work that way in this country.
If it still comes with this drama, then I am talking to you. Then if the drama cannot be avoided, then I must go fighting. I said that last time. Okay.
Inside the silent interrogation room, the officer began the Miranda procedure. Each right was read aloud, each short reply echoing, marking the start of a tense and pressing confrontation.
My name's Carl Bush, and you can call me Carl. You're more than welcome to. How's you feel comfortable?
So who's Rich Bush?
Pardon me?
Who is Rich Bush?
Rich Bush? I think they made a Did you read that somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah, well, they've called me detective, and they've misplaced my name. I'm a captain, but it's good to meet you finally. And I hear that you're wanting to tell us and let us know what happened, and I really do appreciate that. I really do. Okay, and if you have any questions as we go through, take your time, ask. If you've got something on your mind, feel free to ask. If you need a break, holler and ask. I have a form here that I usually fill out, but I understand that you don't like signing forms and doing that.
I just talk.
You just talk? Okay. Well, since that's the case, then I'll just read this to you, and we'll do it that way. I'm pretty good at adapting when I have to, and yeah, you're being good to us, and I appreciate that, and I'll show you that. Back. Okay. I'm going to read you your Miranda warning. You understand what your Miranda warning is? Okay. And Texas and Ohio is a little different on some of these things, so bear with us. Yeah. So bear with us some. First of all, how many years of school have you completed? Total.
So I've got 2 degrees.
You've got 2 degrees. Did you finish those at the same time, or?
No. So school, I'll say 12 first, and then 22 years of school.
22 years of schooling. Okay. And I'm still working on a couple of mine. I have class in the morning. I have class.
But it's very fun.
Finishing a second bachelor's in criminal justice.
Want to be what? A prosecutor?
Oh no. No. I couldn't. I don't know that I could do that, or I really want to, but I'm working on my second degree, and I have class at 8:30 tomorrow morning.
So I fly back today? How long is the flight?
I think it was 2 hours and like 15 minutes here. So
The man revealed he had 22 years of schooling, was studying criminal justice, and had flown in that morning. Exhaustion showed, yet he agreed to talk, as if wagering everything on this moment.
flew in this morning, and fly back later tonight and get a little bit of sleep and for class in the morning. Tough it out. You read and write English?
Yeah, self-taught for some Zoom, but yeah,
Okay.
I learned English and I speak it and I write it. Yeah, I read it.
Okay, very well. But since you don't want to sign this form and go through it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
I'm sure that you've done this before already. And even in the state of Ohio, every county is almost different with some of the things that we do. So if this is repetitive,
Can I see that? Maybe I'll fit it. Maybe. But then make it easier for you if I fit it myself.
if you would like to, that would be great.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
What's in for here? Mine?
That's yours, yes. Thank you very much. You're being interviewed in regards to the crime of murder. Before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. Number one, you have the right to remain silent. You do not have to make any statements or answer any questions. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Number two, anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Do you understand that? Number 3, you have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have a lawyer with you during any questioning. Do you understand that? Okay. When I ask you that, could you just say yes for me? So I don't have to, it's a thing with my boss. Number 3, let's see, we're on number 3, we're on number 4. 4, if you do not have the money to hire a lawyer appointed by the court or a lawyer from the public defender's office will be provided to you before and during any questioning without any cost to you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 5, if you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand that? Okay. Next section is the waiver of rights. And I just, first one is, the above statement of rights has been read to me.
Yes.
I understand what my rights are. Next is, I'm willing to make a statement and answer questions. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand and know what I am doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me. And then I filled in that you've completed 22 years of school. And Musi, I appreciate that very much.
He slowly recalled New Jersey, summer 2008. At Six Flags, he met Zay, a fellow South African. From 2 neighboring apartments, a friendship grew among work shifts, youth, and fleeting dreams.
I have a pad with me. I'm not going to take notes. It's just to remind me of, I have some questions that I'm sure that we will answer throughout my interview with you, but so that I don't forget, because I'm getting a little bit older and I have a tendency at times to get off track and forget, so that I just don't forget some things. So you understand your rights, you read your form, and you're willing to talk to me about what happened with Cell in Dayton, Ohio. Am I correct? Yes. Okay. Why don't you tell me the story, if you don't mind, and if this is okay with you. What I normally do with people is I say, tell me the story and tell me how you want to proceed with it. And then as we go through it, or as we get done, or as we go through it, if I have a question, I may pop in with a question and ask you a question just so that I clarify it in my mind. And we'll go through it that way. And then I have a couple of things at the end that questions that you may not get to. If you do, that's great. If not, that's why I have my notes, so I don't forget.
Okay.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
It's okay with you? Okay.
Alright, so met Zen 2008 in New Jersey, Six Flags. I had come from South Africa. He had also come from South Africa. I was in row apartment 32A, he was in apartment 34B. And became close with him because we're from the same state or province, spoke the same language. At that time, I treated him like my young brother, really. I really liked him a lot, and we were working there. He was working at, I was working at foods, he was working at, I believe, games. Yeah, games. We worked there. I got there 31st of March, I believe. He got there about a month later, end of April. We worked there for a couple of months. Then had been to his parents are rich. Compared to mine, I'm from the village. So all my schooling was the public system. Then had been in private schools, played what we call white sports like rugby, cricket, and golf, and what you rich guys do. And I had not been exposed to that. So he had a lot of white friends and colored friends, what we call colored. You guys call everybody black here. We have blacks and colored, so I come from mixed race people. They have their own race.
But differences emerged. Zeed was wealthy, schooled in privilege and cricket, while he came from a village. As the season ended, they planned a risky deal, buying Zeed's papers to find a path to London.
So he had a lot of those friends because he had grown up with such people. And he, he used to do a lot of stuff, drink, which I don't do, smoke, which I don't do, and other things, which I don't do. And it so happened that towards the end of the season, because Six Flags closed down every November, first weekend of November, or last weekend of October. I wanted to go back to London because I had been to London, but the British consulate had made a ruling that if you had been if you were over the age of 30, you could not come back to London unless you had special skills or you had somebody that was offering you a job.
Okay.
So he was 22 and he had no plans to go to London. So when I would discuss this with him, we ended up agreeing that I would buy his ID, buy his identity.
Okay.
Because on the picture, on the photos, we didn't look that much different. I mean, a person could mistake me for him on the pictures. So started putting a process of, a facilitation process of getting his visa from the British consulate so that they could give him a visa and I would go on his passport and he was either going to report it stolen or lost or whatever. He was going to come up with a plan because his plan was to stay in the US and study.
Okay.
So I paid some money towards that. At first I paid $422 towards that. And then while we were waiting for the British consulate to either say yes or no, we were confident they were going to say yes because he was only 22 at that time. And we had some motivating letters from Six Flags and stuff supporting his documentation. So we were confident he would get it. And while we were waiting for that, it happened that Six Flags was closing down. And on the final weekend of Six Flags closing down around the 31st of October, they were drinking. I'm not a party person, I just stay in my room. So they were drinking a lot, farewell, everybody's going home. And there were these guys that I didn't like their company because of the things they will do when they were together, like weed and coke and stuff. And I despised them. He would keep that company. I was not his dad, so I could not tell him what to do, but that's the company he kept. And one day he came knocking at my door. I remember because it was election weekend, Obama and McCain weekend. Mm-hmm. So I was very...
On the park's final night, drinks and parties filled the air. A group of Z's friends stormed in, using him as bait. Behind the door, childhood abuse memories returned, leaving scars and a searing hatred.
Deep into that stuff, and I used to watch Fox News every day, see how the projections and the election are going and all that. So I'm sitting there watching, and Zen knocks at the door. Our Six Flags doors are almost like these prison cell doors. There was a glass where you could see the face of the person before you open the door. And I saw it was Zen, so I opened the door. But Zen didn't come in. Other 7 to 9 guys came in. Mostly these white, colored, and Indian boys from South Africa, mostly. Came in and ambushed me. Because I thought I was better, why I don't go out with them, why I'm always by myself and all that. So they dragged me to my bed and started, when I was a child, before I got that, I had been abused from the age of 7 to the age of 15 by my uncle, sexually. And growing up, since then, I've had a sexual orientational confusion. Not confusion, I'm not bisexual. I don't even feel anything for girls at all. So I wouldn't say confusion, but it's confusion because I'm African and I'm Zulu. Our culture, in our nature of things, men don't do those things to other men. So that's confusion because I know in my mind it's wrong, but that's what I feel. That's what I'm attracted toward. Okay. But I've been very disciplined in that I've not engaged in anything physically, but when I'm behind a laptop and, chat lines and talking to people behind the laptop, you make yourself sound like this sex guru, though you're not. But when a chance presents itself to do what you've been posting about behind the laptop, I never do it. I don't have the conviction. I don't have whatever it takes to do it.
Yeah.
So when these guys are dragging me, all those flashes of me being abused as a child came back, and these guys were drunk. They were teaching me a lesson. Brought down my pants and my underwear, and they had. I didn't see it because I was facing down. Someone was sitting here, either a vibrator or a dildo, but I know it was one of those two things, and they were inserting it on my arm. on my other segment. And that was very so. Okay, even my uncle who used to abuse me had never penetrated me. Okay, he used to just stimulate me and put his dick between my thighs and stuff, which was confusing because I knew it was wrong, but at the same time, as a child, you enjoy whatever he was doing, though you didn't know what it was. But these guys went an extra step of actually penetrating me with whatever they had, and that hurt. Okay, and they left, and I held it against him because he knew I would not have let them in had they not used him as a front. I would not have just let them in my room, but they had used him. And I held it against him, and I didn't even wait for the consulate to answer to say either he's granted the visa to go to Britain or not. I just didn't want anything to do with him from then onwards, because he had been used like that. I had hated what had happened. So
He canceled the consulate application, $422 refunded to Z's account. Z went silent. Feeling used, he moved to Ohio, got a laptop, sank into online life, nursed anger and isolation, and sought to reclaim justice.
I decided to put a stop on the application that we had made. I wrote to the consulate or emailed the consulate to say we're cancelling the application. I wrote as if I was him. So the consulate stopped considering whatever we had asked them to consider and refunded me the $422 into his account because we had used his account because it had to look like he is the one applying. So when that money came, he never emailed me, never said anything, never wrote me, never texted me, never called me. He just used my money. So I went to Ohio to work at Kalahari Water Resort.
Which resort?
Kalahari Water Resort in Sandusky.
Okay.
So I stayed there for a while. That's when I started. I bought a laptop. That's when I got deep into this homosexual thing. So I said, not doing anything, but deep into the cyber internet stuff, gay porn and stuff like that, which I'm ashamed of, really. Which you won't understand until you struggle with what I'm struggling with. So as time went on, I traced him through Facebook, and Zen was struggling with a lot of things. So I used to be a nice guy. I'm a Christian. I used to be a Christian. I don't know if I'm still. I used to be a Christian, forgiving, though confused sexually, but still love God. And I was staying with a pastor then, trying to get my life together again, trying to be serious with God. So I'll forgive him when he would borrow money and I'll send him money through MoneyGram, maybe MoneyGram at Walmart. Sometimes after I will give him money, he will disappear. He's no longer on Facebook. He's ignoring me. And I will feel used, like you. And I'll tell him, you're using me. Whenever you need help, I'm your friend. After I help you, you disappear for 3-4 months. You don't know me. And then I'll see you again when you need help. So, and I didn't appreciate that. And I made it clear to him, I don't like being used like that. I treat you like my brother. When you need help, I help you. I've never needed anything from you. But I'm not there for companionship when I just need us to have small talk. Whether about sports or politics back home, whatever. And I hate being used like that, So as time went on, I joined DirecTV last July. I was employed by DirecTV. I left Ohio because the family that I lived with left and went back to Zambia in Africa on the 17th of June last year. It was a Thursday. We took them to the airport. They left. So I moved from Sandusky. I went to Cincinnati, and I worked at a hotel, Comfort Inn Hotel in Eastgate, Cincinnati.
Okay.
So I worked there for a while. While I was working there, I was looking for other jobs. Was the family that had gone to Zambia had left me with a car. So I thought if I can get a job which will use a van and make more money than I was making there. I was making $500 a week, and I was looking for a job that could pay me more. So I got a job in Chicago with DirecTV, a subcontractor of DirecTV. So I went over to Chicago, started training. They took me to Pennsylvania where I was being trained, State College, next to Penn State.
He worked for DirecTV, trained in Pennsylvania, then faced fines and debt. His driver's license was his livelihood. Fear of losing it pushed him toward desperate, risky moves to keep his job and survive.
Was there training? Now, with DirecTV, you're given, on average, 4 jobs a day. You have to be at your first job at 8, second job 11, third job at 2, last job at 5. This was in summer. And sometimes you get held up in traffic. Sometimes your job is more complicated than you thought. It takes longer. You have to beat traffic. You have to speed. I had loads of speeding tickets in Pennsylvania. When I say load, about 4. It's not like 12. I think I had 4 outstanding ones. I paid one, and I didn't pay the other 3, man. I was like, oh my God. So I had about 3 or 4 outstanding tickets from Pennsylvania. I had one from New York, because I had gone to Boston. It's the first time I'm saying that, so I'm asking about Boston now. I had gone to Boston to do something, and I had a ticket in New York, and I had a ticket in Chicago. My lawyer fought for that one. Okay, I had one in Ohio, because I had been involved in a car accident, so they said they would add points to my license. I had many warrants and things that affected my driving license. And my driving license was my daily bread, so I didn't want my driver's license suspended. Because if they suspend my driver's license and I'm illegal in this country, I'm illegal now. Okay, I had overstayed my welcome. But I had found a loophole that I could work and earn a lot of money, though I'm legal if I'm staying, if I stay with this company that I was working for. So if my license was to be taken away from me, there's no way I would be able to make, ends meet, because this is the only job that I could get. This is the only loophole that I could exploit to continue working while I'm illegal in the country. So it happens that I'm driving from Chicago to Missouri. So I was offered there by a company from Houston, Texas, a better package. Though they never kept their word, they were liars. But they had promised me more money, more this, because I was a good worker all over Pennsylvania, Ohio, Chicago. And when I left Chicago, Pennsylvania, my boss was not happy because he had invested time in training me. Now I was a good technician. Now I'm leaving him for a better company. So he held on to my salary, a 2-week salary or something. And my supervisor was from Chicago. He came up with a plan. Since your bosses only want your money, steal the equipment. Then we can sell the equipment, then you recover the salary that you've lost. So that's what we did. We stole the equipment in Pennsylvania. My boss from Chicago. He was going to sell it in Chicago because he knew some people would buy it, and then we'll cut it in half and I'll recover my almost $3,300 that I had lost in income over those 2 weeks, which never happened. He never, till today, he never gave me that money, by the way. So I'm driving from Pennsylvania to Chicago, from Chicago to Missouri to start my new job in Independence, where I'm stopped by a traffic cop because I was driving at 69 miles an hour in a 45-mile construction site. I had never seen it's a construction site.
Resentment bred a plan. Steal Z's identity, get a temporary New Mexico license, then start over. Desperation eclipsed reason. He believed documents could save him and was willing to accept legal risk to try.
I think when you start speeding, even when there's no need to speed, you end up speeding. That's my. I used to say to people, I have one addiction: speeding. There was no need to speed, but I was speeding. I didn't even see it's a construction site, 45 miles home. I didn't see anything. This guy wrote me a ticket and called me and he said I need to go to court because I was in the issuing state that had issued the license. So I had to go to court on the 18th of November to tell the judge why was I speeding. I mean, why are you speeding? What was I going to say? And I knew that in court on the 18th of November, all these other outstanding warrants will be there on file. My license will be suspended and I will lose my job, and that will be the end for me. So I decided not to go to court, and I realized that the next stop, whatever that would be, the next stop, it will be the end of the road, because the license will be suspended even if I'm not in court, and the next police, traffic cop who runs my license will say, you're driving on a suspended license. I don't know what happened on that. But I knew it would be the end of the road for me. That's when the Zen hatred came back. Like, not hatred, but that's when I hatched this evil plan of, man, you remember 08, you wanted to buy Zen's ID. What if you get his ID now, and you get a new ID under his name, a new driver's license, and then now with the new license, start from scratch. No speeding, nothing. Okay, and I motivated that with this fake hatred because he had opened the door for those guys. He deserves to die anyway, and he owes me money which he will never pay. Yet let me hunt him down and kill him and get his ID. I know I can go to a DMV, they'll never tell the difference. That's what I thought. Fish them, yeah, they will not tell it anyway. So started hunting the guy. I will find him, he will disappear. Ended up hiring services of detectives online, some not net detectives. I tried net detective too. I tried everything then, tried to track this guy. I could not get the guy. But he was in Alabama. I knew he was in Alabama somewhere, Huntsville, but I could not locate him specifically that he is here. After hunting him down for a while, I thought I had found him in Alabama. I had found an address. Because I had called his parents pretending to be some lawyer in America who needed his address because I was helping him with schooling and stuff, and his parents had given me his address. And when I went to that address, I drove all the way from Missouri, 10 hours or whatever, however long it took me to go to Alabama. Okay, I had spoken to my boss, DirecTV boss, and he had gotten me a gun, and I was going to kill him in Alabama last year.
He hired online detectives and tracked Z from Missouri to Alabama and then New Jersey. The tense pursuit hardened his resolve. Each lead deepened his obsession and pushed him into dangerous choices alone.
I went down to Alabama to that address. I came with his pictures. They said, "Oh, this guy has just moved. He's no longer here. He moved about a month ago." So I was late, so I went back to Missouri. That's when I got the services of those online detectives. I don't know their name, detective something, but not net detectives. And they hunted him down and they located him in East Brunswick, New Jersey. Okay. And I was ready to go to East Brunswick, which is a 17-hour trip. You know, when you're evil, you drive 17 hours to kill a person who's done nothing, really. Plus, you need his ID. Plus, I was ready to go drive and go there. Then I decided to call the hotel to confirm he was still there. He had checked out that day, early in the morning. This guy. So then I come up with another strategy of being friends again. Forget the past, man. Let's move forward. Let's be friends again. And I go to North Dakota. While I was there, he buys this being friends again thing. He needs money again.
This was over the internet?
Yeah, or everything online. Either through Facebook or emails, mostly emails. So he needs money. He needs $378. So I sent him from Minot, North Dakota to New York. He was in New York this time. So I sent him the money. And the reason I'm sending him the money, I'm trying to bring him closer so that he can trust me enough to meet me. I think, I don't know, for some reason, he didn't trust me for some reason. I don't know why, but he knew he had wronged me. So I think he thought I was a bad person. He thought I could retaliate or something, because he could tell when we talked that he didn't trust me. But I tried. I deceived him and I trapped him. I set a trap for him. Then we were friends now, forget the past and all that. And I sent him money in New York, and he was traveling in New York. So I said to him, because when I was in Six Flags, New Jersey, I had met a Jewish family. And I met a Greek family while I was in Six Flags. We became friends with those families. The Greek family were McCain fans and Jewish family were Obama fans. So we used to discuss a lot of politics. So they would invite me over to their houses. One is in Upper East Side, Manhattan, the Jewish family, and the other one, the Greek family, is in Long Island. So I will go visit there. So I used the Jewish family, lying to him. I said, the Jewish family can take you in. I want you to meet them. Since you're in New York, they can help you with a place to stay and with money. Of course, he was going to Berkeley College now. He needed money a lot. So, but you have to come to Dayton, Ohio, because they have a farmhouse there, which they don't have, so that you can meet them in Dayton, Ohio. But the guy was smart. Zed was smarter than me. I thought he would see through it, but he fell for it, and I guess the guy was desperate. Because in the past, he would not have fallen for it. But this time, he just, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, I'll come. And he came to Dayton.
Pretending to reconcile, he sent money to lure Z to Ohio, promising help. Z came. The plan was to lead him into the woods and take his ID. He believed it would erase the pain. Hatred blurred his judgment.
The plan was to kill him, take his ID, go to New Mexico. Because New Mexico, Washington, and Utah were the 3 states where you could still get a license, even if you were an alien. So I was going to go to New Mexico because Utah, you could not use their license as an ID. I could not go to Washington because they wanted you to have been there for 30 days minimum. I didn't have 30 days to sit around. New Mexico, you could open a bank account today, get a license tomorrow. So I had done my research. So I thought I'm going to New Mexico. But I needed money to go to New Mexico to survive 6 weeks. Because in New Mexico, they give you a temporary license today, and then they send you the permanent or the driver's license 6 weeks later to your mailing address. So I needed money to pay for the hotel for 6 weeks and to survive in New Mexico for 6 weeks. That's when I hatched the plan to go. I'm sure you know now about Akron. Yeah, so that's when I hatched the plan to go to Akron, steal the money because I thought that lady had a safe. Because she was a vice president of a bank. Some of your vice presidents are very rich. They have safes everywhere. I assumed she had a safe. She said she didn't have it. So but the plan was to not to kill her. I never planned to kill her. I thought that she would see the gun, she would be subdued, she would give me what I want, I leave, kill Zane. It was always a plan of mine to kill him, unfortunately. Showing you how great I am, really. Because I had that one day, there's one state that governed my brother. Like, to guess what I'm desperate to do some nonsense, really. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So he came to Dayton to have killed Jackie on Thursday. Didn't get any money. I could have taken some money, but I decided not to. Because I knew it could be transferred to me somehow. I was playing the cards. That day, that Saturday was terrible. Because I had to drive around in the morning, look for the spot where I'm going to kill him, where nobody will see it. I'm driving around and I'm contrasted within me. Should I continue? Why didn't stop? Don't do it. But I need the license. Oh God. Till I found that place in the Butler Township in the woods there. And I went to pick him up. Even though I went to pick him up, I still had the option not to do it. And I'm still thinking, but now, I'll be honest with you, there was a time when I decided when we were there, like, I'm not going to do this. But now this guy, I've lied to him and said he's going to meet this Jewish family. What am I going to say to him now? That was my biggest problem now. If I kill the guy and I let him go, the Jewish family, he's come all the way from New York. Yes, I'm the one who had bought him the ticket in the bus, but...
In the quiet woods, they talked and smoked. Inner turmoil surged. A shot split the air. Blood flowed, and a man collapsed. Panic seized him. He fled. The act made him a fugitive, haunted endlessly by guilt.
So he went there, the woods there. They told him he liked smoking. He wanted to. I asked him, "Do you want to smoke?" "Yeah, you can't smoke in my car. Get out." When we were out, stood there for a while. We stood there maybe from 10:30 until 1:30. That's, I don't know, with me. I don't know, something is wrong. Also, even with Jackie, I didn't come in and shoot her. We stayed for an hour talking. I mean, you really are bad if you stay with a person for an hour, talk to them, and then still shoot them. I think something is wrong somewhere. I don't know how to do that. It's easier maybe to come in and ambush a person and kill them and run, but sit down with them, get to know them, and then still decide. It's terrible, really. So I talked to him. We walked in the woods there. The hunter came when I had a gun out pointing at him. The hunter didn't see it. I hit it quickly. And he relaxed. That was relaxed. I have a gun, he's relaxed. He knows I'm not going to kill him. I trust him. You're not going to kill him, And I make it clear to him, I'm angry with you because your friends did this to me. Like, they didn't tell me they would do that to you. I didn't know they would do that to you. They said they just wanted to rough you up and stuff. I didn't know they would abuse you and all that. I'm trying to get angry at him so that I can find a reason to shoot him. Because you can't just shoot a person, Standing there, man, I just shot the guy. Shot him once. I shot him at first. I didn't see blood anymore. And he fell. And I thought maybe it's because of this. He had the shot being fired, he's scared. Then I came close and I shot him in the chest. And I saw blood coming out of his mouth and dogs barking. And I thought, oh, they'll find me. I ran. That was the worst day of my life, I think. Well, that was not the worst day of my life. The worst day of my life was the following Friday. But that was terrible. What I did there, from a person you've known for 2.5 years, a friend of mine, I cared about a lot. That was bad. That was terrible. Well, I drove to Indiana. Through Indiana to St. Louis, slept in St. Louis, drove the next day, Sunday, to Oklahoma, drove on President's Day to Clovis, set up an account, got a tenants list form, because that's all you needed. New Mexico need a tenants list form and an account. That in. Got it set up, getting ready to get my driver's license. Well, I already knew how to drive, so that would not have been a problem. Then I don't know, are you the one who was on video, was on TV news, I think? Are you?
Probably.
Yeah, I think you are. Though you had a hat there, but the face looked familiar. I think.
May have. I may have.
Yeah, I think I've seen it before.
Afterward, he hid across states, opened accounts, and prepared forged papers to live as Z. A tattoo exposed the deception. The plan collapsed. Consumed by fear and remorse, he realized there was no return.
I don't know if it's you, but I may be wrong, but there was this guy on TV appealing to people to identify this guy. It's frustrating. It's after 48 hours. You look, yeah, we've not even identified it. Yeah. Now, the plan was to steal all his IDs so that he will never be identified. I knew his parents are in South Africa. Nobody will ever even report him missing. But I didn't count on the guy having a tattoo. That messed it up. Because if the guy didn't have a tattoo, nobody will ever ID the guy, so I can leave as him. And I can continue emailing, man, it's bad when I was built. See now, it's terrible. How can a person hatch such evil? Was I was going to continue as him on the emails, emailing his parents as him, I was going to take over his life.
Yeah.
That is Satan, really. And then I hear he's got a tattoo. My God. And when I was in that hotel in Jones, and he's got a tattoo. Of all the things you can put on yourself as a tattoo, you put your name, not a rose, not a snake. You put your name. Man, my world came down shredding. I tell you, I was paranoid looking at the windows. Oh my God, maybe the cops, maybe they know I'm here already. I knew then and there, I was smart enough to know you can't use this anymore. I didn't know how far you went, I don't know, but I knew you or the coroner could report to the Social Security Administration, this security number is now void, this person is dead. So I didn't know whether I could still continue using it. What if I use it, then they pick it up, this is a dead person's security number, and my name is on the license. Right now, they don't know who killed him. They'll look at this. Who got an ID under this name? Oh, this is the guy we're looking for. My pictures will be everywhere. U.S. Marshals, Manhunter looking for me. I called it off. At the same time, Governor Martinez of New Mexico had already taken a bill to the House of Representatives there to say license should not be issued to aliens anyway. So it was two reasons I could not continue. I didn't know there was a Senate that will override whatever she had said later. When you guys came up with the name on Friday or whatever day it was, I packed and left immediately from Florence. Because I didn't know how much he knew. I didn't know whether the fact that his name has been used to open an account in New Mexico. I don't know if you guys could pick that up on the system. I didn't know. I didn't know whether you were on the way here or if state police, New Mexico, were already coming. I packed and left. That's how it happened with that.
Haunted by childhood trauma, he confessed how abuse scars linger forever. The detective noted his intelligence, research skills, and how those strengths twisted under pressure, shaping a dangerous path.
And it's sad, really, as I said, man. My life is messed up. It's messed up. I'm not using it as an excuse, but I doubt that if I had got up a normal kid, I would be able to do these things I'm doing. Okay?
All those things from my experience, when you're abused as a child, unfortunately, they stay with you forever.
Which is sad.
And they affect you forever. And it never goes away. And I've had numerous occasions dealing with those victims. And it affects people differently, and it changes you. It really does. And I can see with you, just in the short time that I've been sitting here talking with you, that, you're a very intelligent person, very well versed. Did a lot of research, looking into things. Very good at that. Very good at that. There's few things that I would like to hit on. I mean, you did wonderful. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. I know it's got to be difficult for you under the circumstance. Involved with Zen. Um, what was Zen's Facebook name that he used that you were able to contact him through? Do you remember?
Yeah, Zen, da, Zen, D, no, Zen space D,
Okay.
Zen space D, space Mdadane, MDADANE, space Roman figure 2, I, as in the second. Right, that's his Facebook name.
Okay. Um, and you talked a little bit about when you decided that you wanted to kill Zen.
Yeah.
Um, and why? And obviously, I mean, you had, I don't know, trying to think of a term, maybe a little bit of a drive, where you contacted a online detective to try to find him and locate him. Is that how you ended up finding him in Huntsville?
No, Huntsville, it was my own research.
He recalled tracking Z with relentless online searches, even lying to Z's parents for an address. When that failed, he hired cheap detectives who finally confirmed Z's location in New Jersey.
Okay.
Not detectives. Finding him in Huntsville was me, just being relentless or using online searches, websites and phone trackers and reverse numbers. I invested a lot of time using my laptop searching for him myself. Until I knew that he was in Alabama, Huntsville, but I didn't have a specific address. That I called his parents, which is shameful, and lied to be some university lawyer who is trying to help their son. Where is he? So they gave me the exact address where they thought he was, but they didn't know he had moved to one area.
Okay.
Then after I had failed to locate him in Alabama, I came back and thought, let me solicit services of trained people. Then I went online and looked at all these detective services that are available online. I chose one that was the cheapest to charge me only $350, which was very cheap, because most of them wanted crazy money, which I didn't have. And I got these guys, and these guys found him in East Brunswick and confirmed that he was there. They spoke to him while I was on the dead phone, on the dead line. They didn't, because I lied to them, I didn't tell them what I was going to do. I was like, he's my cousin. I need him, I miss him, whatever.
Okay. Then you actually went to East Brunswick.
No, I didn't go.
You didn't go?
I was about to go. My boss had already hired a Lexus for me to drive all the way there. When I decided to call before I left Independence, Missouri, I thought this is a 17-hour drive. If you go there for nothing. So I called and I pretended to be his brother. I went to talk to this guy. Oh, this guy checked out this morning.
Do you remember what hotel that was?
Yeah, that was Motel 6.
Motel 6.
Route 18, East Brunswick, New Jersey, 0 something. I didn't go there though, but I was planning to go. He just beat me.
Oh. Then you made contact with him Facebook
Mm-hmm.
to
And email.
strike up an email.
Yeah.
Which email account did you use? Do you remember?
Z Davis at gmail.com.
That's the one I have.
That's the one you have?
I have, yeah, I found that one. Well, very recently I found that one. So you were able to get back into being friends, if you would, or back into contact by Facebook and by Gmail at that point. Can I ask a question that, this is one question that has lived with me for over a month now, that I just have to ask, how did you pick Dayton, Ohio?
He admitted luring Z with false promises, a Greyhound ticket, careful timing in Ohio, and rehearsed excuses. Each step blurred morality, replacing friendship with a calculated betrayal that sealed Z's fate.
I picked date in Ohio because I was in Ohio to rob Jay. Okay, he was coming to Iowa. I was in Iowa. I had booked a ticket for him to come to Iowa. I was going to do him in Iowa. But while in Iowa, Victor, Jackie's husband, or Jackie's boyfriend, whatever he is, calls me on a Tuesday after Valentine's Day, so that's February 15th, telling me on Thursday he's going to Michigan. So I'm thinking, when are you coming back? He says he's coming back on the 18th, Friday. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, I need money to survive in New Mexico. This is an opportunity to go to Ohio, rob Jackie the money in the safe. I remember at first I was planning to go to Ohio, rob Jackie on a Thursday evening, drive all the way on Friday to Iowa, and wait for Zen there to arrive on a Sunday morning. But then I changed my mind. I thought that this is a waste of gas, going back to Iowa, driving back to Iowa on a Friday morning, the whole day. I need to just wait for Zen in Dayton. That's how I chose Dayton, really. Okay. He was coming to Iowa now. I'm sure I would have made it easy for you. So, but he was coming to Iowa, but because April was in Ohio, I thought, stay in Ohio Saturday, Friday, and I remember frantic calls to Greyhound trying to get Zen to jump off in Dayton because he was going to Iowa. So that's how we came to Dayton, really. It was by that chance.
And you said you purchased the Greyhound ticket for Zen? Where did you purchase that?
Online.
Online?
Greyhound website. Using my card.
Okay. And you picked him up you actually picked him up that Saturday at the Greyhound bus stop in
About 10, 15.
right, is next to Speedway gas station, I think.
I don't know. There's a Sears on the other side, I know, because I had taken my car to
Sears,
Sears,
okay.
Close to that station. I don't remember Speedway.
You took your car to Sears? Got some work done?
Yeah, the day before, Friday.
Friday.
At Sears, and then on Saturday. Because I could not find the station, so I had to go to Sears, ask them where the station they showed me. So I got the job done on the car Friday, and Saturday I picked them up there.
Okay.
Saturday morning.
Had you selected that location prior to Zen arriving? You and Zen driving around. Had you selected that, or were you driving around with Zen and just found that location?
No, I had picked early. I had left early the hotel. I had slept over there at Dayton.
On pickup day, he circled unfamiliar roads, torn between doubt and desperation. Locations scouted, excuses crafted, until he drove Z into isolation, a place chosen to erase him both on paper and in life.
The blue one. Super 8 or one of the two. I think it was Super 8. Slept in the April Motel 6. I think in Dayton it was Super 8. I had woken up in the morning to pick it. I had driven for 2 hours, maybe from 8 till 10. I was even late to pick him up because I could not find a place. That place has open aircrafts everywhere. You can't hide anyone. So I found it at the end. So I just took him to a place, a location which I had set on my GPS. You find it down my GPS. But I found it at the end before I went to pick him up.
Okay.
That's the worst day, man. I mean, the contrast in me, don't do it. Do it. Get desperate. If you don't do it, you're losing your job. And that's call who stops you. Takes your license, your parents, think of your family. That was the most selfish act I've ever done. I mean, Jackie, it was terrible, but I had not planned it. You don't understand the torture I went through for that was I planned it. Not for hours, for days, weeks. And you know this person is not a stranger, you know him, and you know he's got family. I'm supposed to be looking out for him. He's my younger brother, you know. All those things came back to me. I felt like Cain killing Abel. This guy trusts me. I mean, he even said it on the email. I'll come because I trust you. And that made remember reading that email or text, he sent me out, come, was I trust me? I said, don't trust me if you do. This guy trusts me. If when I had a gun, he didn't run away because he trusted me. But I was kidding. And you've been doing this for months. It's not like then you continue with it. That tortures me. That's the only of the 4 killings. Was 2 years ago. I was defending myself, but I would have died there if I didn't kill those boys. Jackie, man, I was afraid she would report me to the cops. It was robbery. But then you don't understand the torture. It has tortured me. It tortured me before I did it, because I planned it. You know, you go to bed, you think it's like the terror of death. And since then, it has tortured me a lot. Thinking about his family. Even read the newspapers after when he's dead, I was talking, saying the investigation was still going on. Not saying I tried to sound proud or arrogant, but I was confident the way I had done it, that it would be hard for you guys to catch me. Maybe I was wrong, but I was confident the way I had planned it. It won't be just the walking, because I knew nobody would. My key was I told nobody. So unless I talk, nobody would say anything. That was. But it ate me day and night. That's one that ate me day and night. I still see his pictures, my mind, him lying down.
He confessed the torment of planning murder. Unlike past violence he claimed was survival, this was deliberate. Night after night he wrestled with guilt, yet obsession over ID and survival consumed him.
What kind and you ended up, your boss bought the gun for you in Independence, was that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that day, on the 19th, when you drove out on Frederick Pike, and you said that you used Zen smoking to
Get him out of the car.
get him out of the car and get him over to that, into that little, I don't want to say wooded area, but that little clump of trees basically, where we found him. At that point, did Zen have his ID on him, or did he have you were talking about you, and you got his visa and the passport, am I correct? Was it on him? Did he have it in a bag? Did he have a computer? Did he have other belongings with him that day?
He had a bag and a file and everything. I had told him to bring all his papers, because he was meeting this Jewish family and they would want to see everything about it. So he had all his paperwork in the file. He was an organized boy. Very untidy, but very organized. Very unclean personal hygiene, not bad, but everything else was in order. So he had his bag, clothing, and his file, and everything was in the file. There was not much in him. I didn't mark him, I didn't shoot him and then look for names, because everything was in the file. I had told him to put it in a file, because we would make some kind of presentation. Because I didn't want blood that when we're bleeding and looking at somebody comes and see me marking a dead person or something. So he had put everything beforehand in a file.
Okay. And while you were in Zen, or outside the van,
And Hunter came
a hunter came.
with a dog, white hunter. And I had a gun at him. And I think I saw the hunter first, because I think if the hunter had seen the gun, he would have reacted differently. I think I saw him first and he hit the gun, inside my jacket, and the hunter came and asked us, "Are you guys all right?" Yeah, yeah. He walked around and went away. I think he didn't see the gun one. I thought if he had seen it, he would have acted differently, and maybe. But after the hunter saw us, we were there for another 90 minutes. So I thought if the hunter had seen the gun, he would have called cops now. They would have come and whatever. So the hunter didn't see the gun. And once we knew each other, then the hunter would not have suspected anything. It's not like Zen was not under any duress. He trusted me. He was not showing signs of, this guy has a gun, he's going to kill me. He knew I was not going to kill him. And I tried to.
In the woods, a passerby with a dog nearly disrupted everything. For 90 tense minutes, danger hovered. He masked his fear while hiding a gun, praying his deception would hold until the witness left.
Did that hunter come forward?
Yes, it did.
Did he give you a sketch of me or something? Could he come up with a drawing?
Pretty good description. Fairly good. I think I could say a fairly good drawing. He had some, needless to say, after Zen was found that day, and later that evening he saw it on the news and ended up calling the police department. He was shaken because he put himself in that crime scene. No, he put himself in, would he have killed me? And that has that sobering effect, or that wake up attention. And he says, if I would have been there a minute earlier or 2 minutes later, would I have been laying there in the field too? If I would have walked up as whatever transpired happened and he was shot, would I have gotten shot too? So he had some emotional baggage, and he still does from that. I spoke to him about a week and a half ago, heading to the police department. We were doing some things concerning this, and when he talked about it, you could see the emotions starting to come up, and he was very thankful that he walked away that day. He was very thankful that he walked away that day.
Did he tell you what car they're driving?
Mm-hmm. Didn't give you a license number, but real good description on the vehicle.
I knew the car he would figure out, but I knew the license. Maybe you would not have noticed it. Did I have dreadlocks in his description?
Trying to remember back because the ranger asked me, and I don't remember because the initial contact that day on the 19th, I was not there. I was out of town, and I was not there, so I did not speak to our witness for probably over a week, and it was getting some other details. I let one of our detectives pretty much deal with him, and actually my chief had met with him the day on the 19th and struck up a good rapport with him, and they had a good working relationship between the two. But like I said, he is very thankful that he walked away that day.
That witness later realized how close he came to death. Shaken, he told police he might have been shot too. The memory haunted him, a chilling reminder of fate's razor-thin margins that day.
Let's see. Going through all my little questions.
So had you guys by any chance picked up that Zen's name had been used after his death in New Mexico at all?
We'll talk about that at the end of this. How's that? I will tell you, and I've done this job for 31 years, so I'm a real old man, and or I feel real old. But I've done this job for about 31 years, and I will tell you that the homicides that I've investigated and assisted with and supervised, and you have made me work the hardest in my 31 years of trying to identify people, trying to identify Zen, trying to look back and find out what he did for 2.5 years that he was in the United States, where he'd been, who his friends were, where he worked, all that for 2.5 years. Let me tell you,
Was that then?
a lot of work. That's a lot of work to go back.
Did I come up as one of his friends or something?
Not as of yet. I'll be honest with you. I have no idea. No. But
How did you
we,
guys identify him? How did the tattoo link to his name? I know his name was there, but how did you then end up saying Zenzel and Dada and whatever from South Africa? How did that happen?
well, actually, and again, we're being honest with one another.
Mm.
The tattoo on his chest
Mm.
was a clue, but how we eventually did identify him was through fingerprints through Homeland Security and Immigration. But the tattoo was the confirmation when the coroner's office spoke to his parents, and then later that same day, when we made the identification, when I spoke to his parents, I spoke to originally to his mother, and then I spoke to his father.
Fingerprints and a tattoo exposed Z's true identity. His parents confirmed the news. For detectives, misidentification was a nightmare, but here, painful certainty struck like a hammer.
That was our confirmation for sure, because you always have with, especially fingerprints. For me, my biggest nightmare is a wrong identification, wrong identification to a family, and we confirmed it, and we knew it was him. And then at that point in time, really started our investigation of backtracking where Zen had been, who his friends were, where he had worked, all of that to lead us backwards to figure out where it happened, what had happened, why it had happened.
I had done
So-
the best that was, even the emails I had used to him, I was not using my own email. I actually created a lot of bogus email addresses that could not be easily traced back to me and stuff. So I had made sure that I had done my research for a long time to make sure that nothing was coming back to me at all.
What email addresses, the bogus ones, do you remember any of those?
No, there was only some under 6 flags. I had managed to do things. Also, I have a degree in electronics, so I had managed to do things that I didn't know I could do. Zen, looking for Zen, got me very creative, and I got to see I could do things I never knew I could. Like I could create email addresses under the server 6 flags, ICE, US government, and things that I knew I could not do before. But when I was hunting for Zen, I managed to think of ways to build the system and come up with all those things, which I knew it would not be the easiest thing to trace back to me as a person. And you know what? I'm just glad this is over and done with. But I was planning to hide from you guys and run away, and I was confident I could for years. But now I'm caught. I'm better. Well, when they called me, they were interested in New Mexico, but I told them, you know what, let me just tell you other things, man. Just get this out of my chest, give Zen's family a closure. I used to be a Christian. I want to go back to Christianity now, get my life back to God. And just, I feel sorry for both families have lost their sons. Zen's family have lost their son. My family have lost me too, because now you will go to court and say, sentence him to death, which is what I'm hoping for, really, because what is life worth if I'm going to be jailed? I'm only 33. If it's not death sentence, it will be what? Life without parole, because of this cold-blooded animal. You live there till you're 80, die in jail. It's better just to the injection. I know Ohio has injection. I don't know how what New Mexico will say. It was self-defense. But I know when I'm done in New Mexico, I have to come to Ohio, face the music there. And I'm hoping, I told the guys from Apprentice, I'm hoping I get that penalty there. I'm hoping I just check out, I just die.
He described creating fake emails and hiding his trail through servers. Each move showed his cunning, yet revealed his obsession. Deception became his mask, but guilt grew heavier with each lie.
Because it's not like I will ever get out. If I don't die, I know I'm getting life without parole anyway. So why postpone death about 50 years? That's how I look at it. Why postpone it to 2070 when I can die now, the same death that I will die then? That does not mean that I'm suicidal. I'm never going to kill myself. I also know if I kill myself, I'll go to hell or something. But I'm hoping you guys kill me. I really am. Well, I think I deserve death to be honest, what I've done, especially to this guy. This is one case I deserve death for. I'm telling you the truth. I took life, my life should be taken as well. And I took a life that didn't deserve it. It's not like he wronged me. I mean, he owed me some money, he did that, but he was drunk and he didn't know those guys were going to do that to me. So it's not like he deserved it. It's not like he had it coming. I just was evil, cold as cold can be, and it's shameful what I did, you know. And my concern is, if I didn't get stopped, I can see that I could have done it again. Because I had broken that barrier, I had done it first time. Once you do it first time, I think you can do it more times. I think you can do it again. The hardest time is the first time, I know. But I think after breaking that barrier, I would have done it. I would have found a reason to kill somebody else. So I'm glad I'm not killing people out there. I'm glad I'm here. I just want to get my life together. The detective from Akron told me that death sentence takes time. It's years. You don't get sentenced today and die tomorrow. They said you can be on death row for years. And those will be torturous, yes. And sometimes I think it's better to die on the day you know you're going to die than get your life right with God. You know, 2015, I'm dying. Do whatever it needs to be done. Get right with everyone you need to get right with God. Die in peace. And go to heaven, hopefully. You know? That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I want to, I'll say it right now because you mentioned it. I want to thank you for being so forthright and upfront, because they can have closure. And I appreciate that. I mean, that's a small amount that we can do. And it's us. Right now, this is us. Of we can give them closure. And that means a lot to people in their circumstance. And I do appreciate that. And to me, that shows that inner of Moosey and the inner self would be you. And like I said, I do appreciate that on everybody else.
The suspect confessed a longing to return to God. He carried guilt for both families and spoke of death not as fear, but as release. A twisted redemption he thought he deserved.
That means a lot because it just does.
You know, it's said that by death, one kingdom take their son. You know, yeah, that is one guy, of all the guys I know, that is one guy who was 9 times better than me. In everything. Not in an envy way. I didn't envy him. It's not like I killed him for envy. That guy was smart. Yeah, he had, unfortunately, he had bad company when it comes to alcohol and smoking and I don't know what else. But that guy was smart. That guy would have been very productive. I didn't rob his family only. I robbed this world of the person who would have bettered them. That man was smart, he was creative, he was fun-loving. He was far better than me as a man. The world is poorer after his death than it would have been after mine. He was 7 times a man more than me. He deserved to live his life to the fullest and die in old age. This world would have benefited a lot.
Well, I see sitting in front of me a man who had a lot to offer, who is very intelligent, and due to some circumstances, brought him to this. And that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Very. You still had, I think when you were stopped, you still had the gun that you killed Zen with. You still had some of his belongings, I believe.
All of them.
All of Zen's belongings were still in your van? Okay. His laptop?
No, I never had a
He
laptop.
did not have a laptop.
Son used to go to the library. Have his library card. You can check his emails. He will say it over and text messages. He will say it over and over again. My time at the library was running out. He never had a laptop.
Okay.
He preferred alcohol and smokers, buying cigarettes with his money that happened to him too.
Okay.
He never had a laptop. I had 2 laptops, so then they think maybe one is his. No, I just bought one last week because I was planning to get rid of the old one before they caught me. Then my directly boss snitched on me. Now I'm here. Before I could get rid of it.
Everything's meant to happen for a reason.
Yeah, which is good. That is very good what my boss did. Okay, I hated it when he did it, but after sitting here thinking, I love my boss. He helped. I know why he snitched on me. He didn't. He reached a stage where he didn't trust me himself, where I could have killed him. He thought, and I know I could have, must have thought of it, which is sad. Like he would cheat me my money. He used to cheat me a lot, money-wise.
He admitted Z never deserved to die. Z was brilliant, creative, and caring. Taking his life stole not only from his family, but from a world that might have been shaped by him.
I was thinking, well, if you don't give me my money, dude. Because I used to tell him, he used to think I was threatening. Now when he saw this guy can really do these things, this guy gonna kill me. So got rid of me. But he helped me. I love my boss, he helped me. Because I was going to go on this road and I was going to die doing this thing. Somebody would have killed me too. I would have died in this and with all these secrets. And I would have gone to hell, the worst part, which I don't want to go to.
Understood. Let's see. The shell casings. Do you remember what you did with those?
My boss has them. My DirecTV boss has them.
Your DirecTV has the spent shell casings.
I gave them to him last week, Tuesday. He's got them.
What's your boss's name?
Joshua Simons.
Simons, and that's in
Houston. He's here.
in Houston. Here in Houston.
He's got them. All 5 of them. The 3 for Jackie and 2 for them.
Did you tell him where they came from?
He knows.
He knows.
He does not know the extreme details, but I told him one lady, I said these are from Ohio, one lady and one guy from Africa. That's all he knows. But I said all of them knows. I gave them to him and he's got them. The 2 from New Mexico, they are still in my gun. I'm sure they just got them.
And what was Joshua's last name again?
Simons or Simons, S-I-M-O-N-S.
Do you know his phone number off the top?
Not on the top. I know it's a 281 number. Not on the top. 281-656. If you go on my phones, you'll find me. He's Josh. He's under Josh.
So he's your DirecTV
Boss. Yeah. He's got the shell casings.
Okay. Josh also the one. Josh is not the one who bought.
He's the one.
He's the one that bought the
He's
gun
one who
for
took
you.
my 350 and got me the gun.
Okay. Let me make sure of that. After, let's see. Have you ever? I think at one point you said you had talked to Zen's. You called Zen's family. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Asking where he was or something.
He recalled stolen laptops, shell casings, and how his boss unknowingly held evidence. Ironically, the same boss he once hated had saved him from spiraling deeper into chaos and violence.
Did you, at any point before this, and I'm going back from my recollection too, of did you talk to his mom and ask about money or saying he needed money or anything that you remember?
Before he died?
Yes.
Before Zen died?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Did you have any contact with him afterwards? Email or telephone or anything?
Not telephone, email, because I was still pretending to be him. So I was him, so I had to continue with whatever conversations he had left. And I'm a hacker, so I'm going to the internet, so I hacked his accounts. I could hack yours if I knew what yours was. I tried to.
Right.
But I was looking for a wrong man, Rich Bush. I got the name right.
Close. You can't trust the news media. They always make a mistake.
They let me down. I was trying to see what you were up to. So I had that wrong name.
I was really surprised that you didn't, for all of your researching, which was pretty good. I could have used your help. But seriously, but in all your researching, I was surprised that you didn't. Did you ever go to our website? Did you?
Yes. Crime Stoppers and Interceder, all those websites, I think. I don't know, you talk about those or another one?
Did you actually go to like our police department website?
I've gone to so many. Crime Stoppers, Interceder, and there's another one. I don't know what it's called. I've gone, yeah.
Okay.
It's a cream that I didn't spend much time looking at because I was confident that a cream they could hardly link me to anything. But I knew if you guys looked carefully at things, um, I knew that you could not link it to me until New Mexico. I was wondering about New Mexico, that I had used this name. I thought if they could pick it up that I've used this name in New Mexico, they could go to the bank where I opened an account and just see me there. Video, there he is, opening an account, and now that person's name. That's why my concern was. That's why I was spending a lot of my time looking at you guys. And also the guilt, because I had planned this.
What bank did you open an account with? Was his name?
Citizen. What is it called? Citizens Bank. They have the information there in the car, these guys.
Okay. Citizens Bank in New Mexico.
Clovis. It's called Clovis. Citizens Bank of Clovis.
Is that the only place that you did use Zen's name?
And the hotel, 1616 Marbury Drive, MARBY. What is it? Is it V?
Is that in Clovis too?
Marbury, MABRY Drive, Clovis. It's an American Inn and Suites hotel. Those are the only two places I've used since day.
Okay.
He detailed opening accounts under Z's name, renting hotels, even dreaming of law school and prison. Childhood rejection of that dream echoed cruelly now, a reminder of wasted potential.
I was telling the detectives from Akron, while waiting for you guys to kill me, I was thinking, I want to study. There's a way to study in jail.
Mm-hmm.
I want to study, because my life is messed up. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a lawyer. Okay? That was my burning desire, to be a lawyer, but my dad was one of them Christian, he still is.
Mine too.
He would say, lawyers are liars. My son cannot be a lawyer. So he's the one who told me to become an engineer. But I've always had passion for law, Even now, I'm committing all these things and I know how to use cell phones and don't leave and create all these bogus emails. Because I've always had passion for that, and I watch a lot of these forensic detectives, FBI files, 48 hours, a lot like religion. Every day I know, American justice, court cases and all that. Man, I'm already 33, I don't know my dream. I've always wanted to be a lawyer. I'm thinking that if I go to jail while I'm waiting to be killed, maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to study there. Who knows? Maybe you guys will use me.
You would not be the first person who has done it. I know that for a fact. You would not be the first person who has done that. We had actually a person on death row in the state of Ohio who earned his law degree and passed the bar while he was on death row.
Hmm? Is that now?
Yes, I believe he is. But he was able to accomplish that.
Ohio is cruel. Once a guy gets a degree like that, you flip him over. You guys could use him. Why do you kill him still?
We could, you said you would have discussions about politics and things. We could literally, if we had the time, me and you could sit here and discuss the politics of the death penalty and not death penalty and my feelings and your feelings and society's feelings and does it work or not work. We could probably sit here for 2 or 3 days between the two of us discussing that. Sometime in the future, maybe we'll have that talk.
Maybe.
We'll have that.
I don't believe in that penalty, but I'm glad. I don't believe in it at all. But I'm glad in my case that it exists because I think it's my way out. But it does not. I don't think it does any good. I think people should be rehabilitated more than, okay, they should be punished, but give them a chance to change.
He admitted anger born from abuse festered for decades, erupting in violence. Regret showed as he reflected on wasted years, scars that shaped his downfall, and the pain it brought both families.
Well, and I agree. And one thing that I see with you is I think you could be an asset.
I hope so.
I think you could be an asset for other people of, here, don't. And I think you could do some good. I really believe. I really believe that you could do some good.
Well, for 33 years, 8 months, I've been doing a lot of good. And it's just the last 6 weeks that I've just flipped over. I think the anger that I bottled in me of all the abuse I was growing up, and I didn't deal with it. I was brought up in a village, no counseling, no psychological attention. You're bottling all this anger within you, and then in some stage it just comes out. But I think, I know I could do a lot of good.
It happens. Unfortunately, it happens. And unfortunately, we're sitting here with it. I'd love to have met you under better circumstances. I think we could have had some really good, long discussions.
I think so.
Let's see. So you did have some email contact with Zen's family. Did you use the $1 million boys account to contact to continue that you were Zen?
Yeah, but I stopped it as soon as I realized they knew he was dead. I stopped because I knew you guys would trace it through IP addresses and stuff. So I knew not to do it anymore. And one of them, I changed my IP address and I bought a UK address. I bought online in London IP address, so that when you try to trace me, it will take it off to Europe while I'm in New Mexico. So I stopped. Once I knew they know he's dead, well, I think I may be wrong. I think I may be wrong. I think either you guys told them to continue contacting this bogus Zen, or they decided to pretend. Well, they will pretend as though they don't know he's dead. Both his mom and dad, at least once he's dead, once his mom. They will write to me as though they think I'm Zen. And I thought, oh, this is a setup now. If I continue these relations with these people, the detectives with dating could say to these guys, cut us the heading and send us so that we can trace this guy through the IP address and we will know where he is. But, and this is, of course I'm clearing my chest, everything, but you could not, when I was in Clovis, you could not trace me in that hotel. Now I made a mistake and emailed them while I was in McDonald's, and I realized later that I had not hidden my IP address in McDonald's. So you could trace me up to McDonald's, but the exact hotel, I had found a loophole.
He described tricking Z's parents with emails, masking his IP to appear in Europe. But a careless login at McDonald's gave detectives their break, unraveling the illusion he thought was flawless.
Where it would appear that I was in Clayton, New Mexico, which is 3 hours away than where I was actually. So I had set it up such that if you had tried to trace me in Clovis at that hotel, you will pinch me and you will think I'm in Clayton, New Mexico, yet I'm not there.
Well, that was very good. And you were probably, about your suspicions, correct.
Yeah, I thought so.
You were probably correct.
That's why I stopped. I thought, no, you better stop this. They're on to you.
Let's see. My big questions you already answered. I do have one for you. There was one that the Rangers had mentioned, and it just piqued my curiosity. Is that I guess at your hotel room that you had here, there was some duct tape wadded up in a trash can. What was that from? Just my curiosity there.
Well, they are watching, okay, so they can hear this. That man, I'm surprised. These people think I'm this Okay, I know I'm a serial killer because I've killed more than one person, but now they think I have a storeroom in Oklahoma. I have 18 bodies there. What is it called? That the river guy, the Blue River man, and all that. I'm not. Okay, okay. That tape. If they go back to my hotel room, they will find a box, a black box, where the laptop was when I bought it. I had taken those things that were found, the evidence that was in the bag that I was trying to get rid of. I had put it inside the computer box. So I had used that duct tape to seal the box, so that if I move the evidence, it will be sealed. It does not spill over.
Okay, got it.
Then I changed my mind. I decided I will use that box in the hotel room as part of my trash system, and I was going to use a trash bag to dispose of the evidence. So I had to take the duct tape off the box, and then I threw it away so that I could put the evidence in the trash bag.
That's all right. They actually, when they mentioned it, it piqued my curiosity. And you were
I
talking
don't
about
do that. I know I have a duct tape and a knife, but I use that for direct TV. The zip tie. I don't do that. That's why everybody that you found was not found.
we pretty much figured that, but that
I don't
was
do that.
that was a curious question that I had to ask. And you said you were wanting to get rid of some evidence. Was that evidence?
I was trying to get rid of all the evidence.
Detectives pressed about duct tape in his hotel room. He explained it sealed a box of evidence, later discarded. His attempts to erase traces revealed fear, but also his growing awareness of guilt.
Okay, even
Zen.
those Zens and everything.
Yes, I was trying to get rid of Zen and New Mexico. There was not much on Jake. But yes, I was trying to get rid of it.
Okay.
Shame on me. I was trying to get away with 4 matters. And that would have seen my fate in hell. That would have seen my fate in hell. Now, Jesus says, how will it benefit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I would have gained the world. I watched these programs, unresolved mysteries, where there are still outstanding murders that were committed 30 years ago, 50 years ago. I would have been one of the legends who would have gotten away with it, maybe. I don't know how long, but for as long as I could have. And even if I had gotten caught without that evidence, the evidence that was in the bag, there's no way you would have pinned anything on me. Stuff out there to get it off. And it would have been harder, even if I had a change of heart, 10 years down the line, if I came to you and said I did this without that evidence, you would have thought, oh, you're a glory seeker, you read online, where's the proof? So in other words, I would have gotten away with it, but I would not have gotten away with it with God.
Right.
You know? I would not have gotten, I was still in this morning taking a shower. I'm in jail now. And this is easy compared to where I'm going in prison, I know. In prison it will be hell, almost. But it's nothing compared to real hell. It's not the same. So you rather face your music here. Whatever happens, if I died in jail, I died in jail. If I don't, I don't. Whatever happens, happens, man. But at least you know that your eternity is taken care of. You know, your next life is taken care of. Shame, I feel sorry for my parents. Same way I feel sorry for his parents. They lost a son, a very promising son, who would have made a lot of difference in people's lives. My parents have lost a son too.
That's right.
I can't feed them now. I can't take care of them now. Oof. I hope not to see them, because they will be shamed.
Well, I think that in the future, like I said, number one, I still think you have a lot of positives that you can do left in your life. I can see that in you. It's almost glowing that you can have some positive impact still in the future. And I believe that you can do that. I'm not real familiar with the New Mexico case and what they're wanting to do. That's not out of my hands of control and everything else. I'm worried about Butler Township and the incident was in. I know that from our standpoint, I'll put our case together, the information that I've gained from you, information that I've already had in the works, and put a package together and present it to our prosecutor and see what happens at that point in time, what charges we would look at you facing in Montgomery County.
He confessed he nearly escaped justice. Without evidence, his crime could have gone cold, like legends of unsolved murders, but he admitted no lie could hide him from God, nor from eternal judgment.
Here in Montgomery County here, and you'll go to Montgomery County, Ohio. Same name. But you'll face that there.
It could have been Montgomery County, Alabama, if I found it there. Where Montgomery keeps chasing me everywhere.
There's a lot of them around, but I don't know how it'll go. I know that review it with the prosecutors. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about the New Mexico case. I don't know how long of a process that will be. I don't know if Akron will try to be the next step after New Mexico. I don't know. That'll be worked out between the prosecutors, the people with the law degrees. They will work that out and do it that way. I don't even know when I may get to see it again. I really don't. I don't know when you'll be in Ohio. I can't predict that. I'm sure that maybe you were going to have that as a question. I don't know because I don't know the process and how long things will take to New Mexico. And then once they're done in New Mexico, at some point in time, there'll be a decision made between, I can't remember the county, Summit County, I think, maybe Summit County and Akron and Montgomery County in Ohio, who will take the next case and how it will proceed from there. I can't answer that right now. I will keep track of things in you. Yes.
If I plead guilty, I don't know, let's say this is first degree murder, make an example. I like to think that Akron was involuntary manslaughter or second degree murder, whatever you look at it, however you look at it. But this obviously is first degree murder, and I premeditated on it, and I had 100 chances to quit. I didn't. Now, first degree murder in Ohio, though, by law, carries death penalty, right?
It can. It's and most states have an out, if you would. In the state of Ohio, you can have one is called aggravated murder, which there's certain criteria that you have to meet for it to be an aggravated murder, and then there's murder. And aggravated murder can carry the death penalty, but it's there's certain criteria that has to be met, and that's something that the prosecutor would want to consider would be the death penalty. Or
Talk turned to charges: murder, aggravated murder, even death penalty. He seemed resigned, saying prison was nothing compared to hell. To him, fate had already been written in his own hands.
Life without parole or a murder charge versus an aggravated murder charge. That's something that the prosecutor and the people with law degrees will have to sit down and look at everything that we have as far as evidence, hear what you had to say and what you had to tell me, and piece together everything and determine if that what happened was then meets the qualifications and the criteria for, number one, aggravated murder, and then number two, would it meet and rise to the specifications of a death penalty case.
Okay. Now, question number 2 is, what's the average period between being sentenced to death and the execution of death? No one in Ohio.
I would have to guess. If you want me to guess, I can guess, but I don't know
The specifics.
I don't know the specifics of it. I could not sit here and say it's
But
7 years and 9 months, or 15 years and 9 months, or
Yes.
35 years. Guess, I would say in the 10 to 15 year range.
what are they waiting for?
Well, there's a lot of protections that are afforded to people who do receive a death penalty. Automatic protections, automatic appeals to state Supreme Court, to U.S. District Supreme, or U.S.
What if I don't want any of that? Can I say I don't want? Can I go to court and say I am guilty and I want to be killed? I want death penalty, and I waiver everything. Kill me now.
It's just like everything else. you have a right to say what you want. It's your life.
Yeah.
You can make that choice if that's what you choose to do in the future. You can make that and make that wanted to prosecutors, attorneys, whoever. You can do that. That is, in my opinion, that is your choice. It's just like, today I explained to you your Miranda warning and said, you can talk to me or not talk to me. It's your choice. And as far as that, I believe that is a person's choice. I believe that is a person's choice. And you can convey that to, like I said, either the prosecutor, in Ohio it's called prosecuting attorney, a prosecuting attorney for us or for Akron, depending on, I don't know what they're going to charge you with or try to charge you with, or attorneys that will be at some point in time appointed for you to represent you or people that you want to hire in the future. They will all do that, but it is your life, and you have a right to tell them how you feel and what you want. And that's my belief.
He asked why trials were needed if he confessed. Detectives explained, justice requires clarity, protecting rights, and ensuring decisions are informed, even when guilt seems undeniable, in the killer's own words.
Last one. Now, if I plead guilty from the start, is there a need for a case? A trial? Why is there a trial? Why torture the family having to sit and listen to all these extreme details here of my wickedness when I've just confessed to a murder? And why don't I just appear before a judge in his chambers and he sentences me to life without parole or death penalty? Why do we have to sit through all these expensive, dramatic sessions in court?
Most of it is for your protection, to make sure that you're doing everything. And again, a lawyer at some time will explain all this to you as well as the judge, but to ensure that you're making very informed decisions. Our judges and lawyers want to make sure that you know what you're doing. They want to make sure that, just like when I read you that form, I want to make sure you know what I'm doing and you're doing. I don't trick people. I tell them the way it is, and here it is. And that's the way our justice system is we want to make sure that you know what you're doing, you understand what you're doing, you understand that you have a right to a trial, you have a right to confront witnesses, you have all that. And that is guaranteed to you. That's why, I will sit here and tell you that I've worked in the system 31 years, and I believe in that system. And it's there for a reason. It's protect the innocent, and it's protect those who have done wrong, but to make sure that they're treated fairly in the system. And that's one of the things that you talk about, and we were talking about our political. We could sit here and talk politics and different things. That's what makes this country great, is that we make sure we protect those people's rights, whether you're the richest man or the poorest man or anywhere in between, that we protect those rights, and without a doubt what you're doing. You've gotten the best explanation and counseling that you can get, and you're making informed decisions, and that's why a lot of that is done.
And I was hoping, because I've admitted guilt, I was hoping they could just,
And nothing says, again, I can't speak, for the lawyers and the judges and prosecutors, but, that is something that when it gets to that, as far as our case, and you can say those things, but they're going to make sure that you make an informed decision. Even if you make a decision that that's what you want to do, they're going to make sure that you have an informed decision and you know what your rights are, and your rights are protected.
And I know my rights. Believe me, I know my rights. This could have gone down the other way around if I wanted it to exercise my right. I don't want to talk until I see a lawyer and whatever. I know all that. So that I want my life to be clean now. Live for God. That's it.
The detective thanked him for honesty, saying closure matters for grieving families. Truth cannot heal all wounds, but it ends the torment of not knowing. For them, answers were a fragile form of peace.
And like I said, and you've heard me say it probably 2 times, maybe 3. And you'll probably hear me say it again, and you'll hear me say it in the future. I appreciate what you did in your honesty in being upfront with me. I really do. I appreciate it, and I thank you on behalf of the family. Because closure, again, means a lot. And it helps. Doesn't cure everything, but it does help, and it does help with closure. I appreciate it, and I'm speaking for their family. I have not actually spoken to the family yet. We had a very quick conversation that I was coming here today. They don't know any of the circumstances, but I know that they appreciate it as well, because they've expressed to me that they did not want to be in the unknown forever. They wanted to know what happened, and I appreciate it. Do you have any other questions or anything for me? Lizzie, I wish we could have met under better circumstances, because you're a very interesting man, and with all your knowledge, could help me in class. I could use the help in class. I really could use the help in class. I will go and speak to the Rangers, and I think from everything that we covered, I can't think of anything else. I want to take a quick look at my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. And I'll be right back. Is there anything I can get for you? Anything you need? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Technology's changed again. Everything's getting smaller.
Yep.
Both of us. Is this recording right now?
It's on.
Okay. Okay.
Flashing red light.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Donnelly, remember Detective Singh and Detective Brown. And a little over a year ago, we last spoke, and you wanted us something in writing that Ohio was going to seek the death penalty. All right. So I'll let you read and see what you want to do. Do you want us to scoot this closer to you a little bit?
Yeah, we can. Want
Is that
closer?
better? It's fine.
Scary.
The suspect received a letter. Prosecutors would seek the death penalty, yet he demanded more, an ironclad promise of execution, a deal beyond what law or justice could ever allow.
If you hit the center button, bring up the screen again, you can see the
Okay. Yeah, we're good. I'll be glad to read that out loud if it'll assist you.
Maybe you should read it out here better.
What's that?
Maybe somebody reads it aloud out here better. I'm trying to,
Okay.
I'm not understanding the data and hit the connection.
Well, I understand. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and put this, I'll read it completely verbatim here, okay?
Right?
It says, Mr. Madanda, it has come to my attention that you were interviewed by Detectives Brian Brown and Kevin Sink of the Butler Township Police Department regarding the death of Zenzeli Madande, didn't they? Madadne, thank you, in Montgomery County, Ohio, on February 19th, 2011. During your conversation with them, you indicated that you would tell them about your involvement in Mr. Madadne's death on the condition that the Summit County Prosecutor's Office indicate to you our intentions regarding the prosecution related to the killing of Jacqueline Howder in February 2011 in Akron, Ohio. As a result, I am sending this letter at your request, and to fulfill the agreement you made with Detectives Brown and Sink, and inform you of the following. It is the intent of the Summit County Prosecutor's Office to pursue charges against you, which include aggravated murder for the death of Jacqueline Wilder between February 17th and 18th, 2011, in the city of Akron, Ohio, which is Summit County. Further, we will be pursuing a death specification, which will allow our office to seek a sentence of death.
And that is your letter. I'm leaving it with you.
Yeah.
Talk to the deputy warden. So that's your letter to keep. And you can share that with him there.
We've reviewed our last interview with you.
Frustration grew. He confessed guilt, begged for death, but clashed with detectives who insisted no shortcuts exist in American law. His desire to skip process met the wall of due process.
And we wanted to make sure that on your specifics, that's what you're wanting. And at the end, if it is put in writing that this is a death penalty, I will answer all you have. And we have fulfilled this.
You have known.
How have we not fulfilled it?
See other sentence? Further, we will be pursuing a death specification which will allow office to seek. You guys remember what we talked about. So I don't want to be playing games with you guys. I'm guilty. I deserve whatever is coming my way. And I don't want us to seem like I'm mind gaming you guys or anything like that. But if you review your notes, my request was a guarantee. These people will be seeking a death penalty, which could still be refused.
Summit County is seeking the death penalty.
You can't create a piece of paper that says, okay, you promised to kill me. It doesn't work that way in this country. It has to still go through processes. This is the first one, okay?
They are seeking the death penalty. They are seeking a death specification. In the Ohio Revised Code, when you have aggravated murder, you killed somebody, you committed this crime, and then you have more elements that it can elevate it to a death penalty case. They're telling you that they are considering those additional elements
To make it a death penalty.
to make it a death penalty case. So I can't immediately condemn you. You have to have a trial. That is the greatness of our justice system. But Summit County prosecutor has told you they are seeking the death penalty against you.
So that's the best they can do, you see.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
You still have to go to trial.
So there is no striking a deal with the DA, no try, don't put the families through that. Hear me out. No try, don't put the families through that. I confess my guilt and I consent to death.
Correct. I've never heard of it. Ever.
Now, as far as putting the family through the trial,
They don't have to testify.
if you're pleading guilty to the case, there's no testimony, and then they could then judge sentence and then carry it out, depending on what the judge sentence is. But they are now telling you, therefore, they are seeking the death penalty, which is what you desired, as I recall from our last conversation.
Yes, but unless you got,
What you're asking, can I paraphrase? You're asking to say, I did these things. I want to be put to death. You sign it, they sign it, and then you're on death row.
yes.
It does not, it does not work that way. Okay?
Why?
He argued with cold logic. Death was his trade, his way to avoid years of trials, appeals, and prison transfers. Yet the system guaranteed both. Death may come, but not without the journey.
Our justice system does not work that way. In other countries, maybe, but in our, you are afforded every single right possible.
But
And
I don't want it.
I
I
understand.
thought about it for 9 years. DA sits there. I confess to my crimes. That's my deal. You promised to kill me. That's your deal. We sign a paper. I go on death row and wait for my death.
It doesn't work that way. I'm telling you.
It,
I guarantee that they're seeking the death penalty.
Yeah.
yeah, but seeking it, they may not get it.
Here's when it goes to quote the trial, they are going to put all the parts and pieces together to prove their case for a death penalty case. Okay? When you get a defense attorney, you can tell the defense attorney, I don't want to defend myself. That's your right to do that if you decide you want to do that. But we can't do it in New Mexico and then put you on the bus and take you back to Akron and kill you. It doesn't work that way.
You'll be transported, but you still have to go through a trial.
You still have to go through the processes. I mean, you have to be afforded.
It's by virtue of our Constitution and all the land. We have to afford you those rights. We can't bypass those rights. And being that they are seeking the death penalty, they're going to go above and beyond those rights. And you, when you go to trial, you can tell your attorney that you want to waive all appeals and all that stuff, and they'll follow your wishes because your attorney works for you. And you can expedite that process, but you still must be tried. There's no getting around that, sir.
Then
You're going to stay. Are you wanting to stay here?
no, but I don't want to go to Ohio and go through the same thing I've gone through here. Transport, transfers, county, jail, all the moving around. Just, I'm guilty, death row, wait for death. Leave me in my cell for as long as it takes for my time to die, and that's it.
I'm telling you, it's never, ever, ever, ever going to work that way. It just won't. I'm just telling you, it won't. You have to be able to go in front of a judge.
Detectives explained rights cannot be waived so simply. A guilty plea still required court, attorneys, and trials. His impatience collided with a system designed to guard against injustice.
In front of a judge, which means you're transported, and to plead guilty. And then that judge is going to say, well, you just got here. You need to talk to a defense attorney. They're going to give you chance after chance after chance to say, you know what, I want to live. Or, you know what, I want to defend myself. Those are the rights that are afforded in this country. And the system's not set to go around them.
You cannot. As I told you last time, we would rather a guilty man go free than an innocent woman go to jail.
There's 5 facets to everything that we do, from stealing a candy bar at Walmart to murder. Okay? It's the what, when, where, how, and why. We know what the what is. We know where the where is. We know when it happened. We know how it happened. I want to know why. And I think if part of what you're not wanting to do is to put the family through things, the why would be very beneficial for them because of the fact they don't know why their son's dead. Even if it's something they don't want to hear, I can't imagine the agonizing pain of my child, if it happened to my child, of not knowing why. And I know you've been sitting here for 9 years. I was the first one on scene upon his death. I want to know why. I'm trying to understand. I'm still a cop. There's certain things that don't make sense. There's certain things in my heart that I'm like, okay, how? Why? Why'd you go here? How do all these different things happen? This is it for us. Okay? This is it for us. Akron, when they're done, you circle back down. You head south, just like you did that day. And then the whole thing starts over again. Okay? What our goal is, I want you to listen to me, okay? Just hear me out. Our goal is to fill in all the blanks for what, when, where, how, and why. Get your confession. So we can actually say, you know what? This is why this happened. Right, wrong, or indifferent. This is why this happened. And then we hand it over to our prosecutor. They go ahead and put, you can't kill you twice. So if they're seeking the death penalty, our prosecutor, I don't know what they're going to do, but we're going to be able to look at them and say, here it is. Well, if you're tried and found guilty, or you confess, found guilty, whatever it is up there, I don't know if they'll bother with the trial we're at. Because when it's all said and done, we got the why answered.
The room thickened with tension. Detectives pushed for the why, desperate to give grieving families answers. He resisted, saying death was enough, but without motive, closure remained elusive and incomplete.
So, you asked me, do you want to stay here? What are you saying about my extradition to Ohio? Is it dependent on something?
No. We're not. When they extradite you, they want as much done as possible prior to you being extradited. So that's why you got a letter here hand delivered to you. It says, okay, if that's what you want, then that's what we're going to go for. We got the elements in the case to do it. So fine, here you go.
So you asked me, do you want to stay here? What does that question have to do with anything?
I'm confused.
No, but explain that to me. What does my speaking to you guys or not speaking to you has to do with my going to Ohio or staying here?
You told us, the last time we were here, and I'll give you the excerpts of what we got. The crimes that you did here were a crime of opportunity. Then you told us that we can't prove that you pulled the trigger. Okay? It says, you said, I can fight you. I don't want to fight you. You prayed to God that you were ready to give your life. We talked about, you and Brian talked about the different Bible knowledge that you have. So it's confusing to me that when you say you cannot prove that I pulled the trigger, and then says I don't want to fight you, and then we come here today and we've got a letter saying, okay, there you go. And I ask you, I'm confused. That's why I asked, are you wanting to stay here? Because you're not making sense on a couple different realms here.
So ask me the questions you are not clear on. What are you not clear on? Ask the questions.
Okay.
Because I'm clear on my point. I don't want to go to Ohio and be sent from Peter to Paul, moving up and down. You never know what's going on when you're going to try, you're going to see the story. I'm fed up with all this, your court system moving. I've been here 9 years. You never settle down because you've got this court, you've got that court, you're seeing this lawyer.
When you're segregated here, you're by yourself, correct?
I'm done with that. I just want to be left in a cell, wait for death, and that's it. I'm done with all the fighting. And that's not what you guys brought me. You're bringing me, you will seek death penalty, which means I still have to go through all the processes over there.
9 years behind bars had broken him. He wanted stillness, one cell, one fate. Yet extradition to Ohio meant more movement, more trials. What he saw as torment, the law saw as obligation.
This is the absolute best thing that can be done.
Which is not what I asked for.
We can't do
I
what we
understand that.
asked for.
I understand you can't do what I asked for, but that's what I asked for. But so it's not what I asked for, though. Do you admit that?
I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Do you want for us to go through our process, get this done, get your confession? Because if that's what you want to do, we're going to read you your rights and do all the parts and pieces that we're supposed to do. We do this because it's a constitutional right. We can't go around this any way we want to look at it. We're talking to you prior to. Anything that we're talking about right now doesn't go into your prosecution because you haven't read your rights yet. So if you want to talk, answer questions, get this off your chest, give us the ability to actually go back to the family and say, this was why. We will read this to you and get this done.
And if I don't, you leave. And then what happens after?
I don't know. We're done. And we don't want to be done. I was there 9 years ago. I want to know the why.
You want to know the why. When was the last time you talked to the family?
Years.
Exactly my point. Was my family is in touch with their family. The family knows why. So you are a stranger to me. I don't know you.
I understand, but we're not trying to play games with you, try to do anything else, be mean to you. We're telling you exactly, this is all being recorded, this is all part of court. This is everything, okay? We're trying to do what we're supposed to do according to the Constitution and the laws afforded to you, and try and write a letter that says, okay, fine, I'll admit to it, but you gotta kill me. It doesn't exist. It has to go through the process. And that's the thing I
Understand.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I have to work with the process. I don't agree with that. I understand the process, but it doesn't mean I have to consent to it. I would.
Well, for the extradition, yeah, you don't have to. That's why I was asking if you want to stay here.
I don't, but I don't want to jump out of the pen into the fire at the same time. I don't want to see here I'm in segregation. And
I wouldn't either.
moving to Ohio, man, starting a new, that's why I just wanted a deal in place.
Okay.
Give us your confession. We will take you up here. That's what I told you last time. We'll pick you up here, take you straight to death penalty. No counties, no jails, no courts. We'll take you, we are moving from Ohio to death penalty, and you wait your death. Good. I'm tired of the movement and the
You
transportation.
told me last time that you had studied our laws in Ohio.
Detectives reminded him prosecutors sought death as he wished, but he saw betrayal, execution offered, yet chained to the very drama he had hoped to escape. The trade he craved was impossible.
You were quite confident in your knowledge of Ohio law. So based on your knowledge, you know, or should know, that I cannot just pick you up, stick you in death rows for then to stick the needle in your arm the next day. You know, or should know, that there has to be a trial. So I want to know the why as much as he did, but I don't appreciate being jerked around. I had given you a letter that Summit County is going to try to put you to death for the crime committed in Akron. That is the absolute best that we can provide to you.
Which is not what I asked for.
I know, but you're asking, do you want the moon? We can't give you the moon either. We can't do what you're saying.
Okay. All right. We could then. That's it then. Because I appreciate the letter, but you agree it's not what I asked for. I asked for a deal. Can we make a deal? Can a DA come? We make a deal. This boy confesses. I give all the details. Okay? We sign a deal to be ratified maybe before the judge. He consents to death. I understand you can't do it, but that's what I asked for. You can't do it, then there's nothing I can do.
So, bottom line, you jerked us around for a year.
I didn't.
Yeah, he knows we can't do that.
So you have no desire to talk to us all today, is that correct? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
I could accuse you of jerking me around for a year, you know.
How?
Because I was clear to you the last time you were here. In fact, last time
Want to talk to us, yes or no?
I could accuse you of taking me around.
I'm asking you a yes or no question.
Because last time you were here, we discussed, I told you I would like a deal in place so that I'll move here to
And we told you we can't do that. But it's that I told you back then,
Yes.
that doesn't exist. What you're asking for does not exist. So, this is the process to get you to death row. This is the process.
This is the best that can be done.
Yes. Because in this country, you have rights. You have due process.
You watch enough television to know that many different prosecutors all over the nation tend to stay away from the death penalty because of the additional cost involved with not only the legal process, but all the other costs involved.
He spelled it out. Death was his bargain to avoid the grind of trials, but if forced to endure them, why surrender? To him, fighting became the only path left, even in defeat.
So they have guaranteed you that they're going to go through those extra steps to get you what you want. I think we've done you a service, and as much as the law allows, we've given you what you asked for. You've admitted we could not give you exactly what you wanted because of our Constitution. We've given you as much as we can within the confines of the law. I'd like to see some good faith on both parts here.
This is where I think we are missing the point. You guys have almost given me the destination I asked for, but the reason I was choosing that destination is because I wanted to avoid the journey. I'm still getting the same journey. I still moved to Ohio, to county, moved from Akron to Dayton, transportation, population. The reason I was consenting to death was it was going to save me from all this drama. I still get the drama. I still get the desired destination of death. This was a trade for me. I will take death to avoid all this drama of courts and trials and transportation and transfers. I'm fed up with all of that. I will trade that for death. I'm still getting the death, but now I'm getting it with all the drama I was trading in. Am I making sense to someone?
You are making sense, but what you're asking for does not exist.
You might face a trial, but
Yes.
your peers.
So, okay, so what you're saying, I understand. I think I'm getting it. What you're saying is the trade cannot be made. We are missing, we didn't get each other there. I was trading all of the drama for the death. You guys are giving me the death that I asked for, but I still get the drama I was trying to avoid. Do you get me? I was willing to take the death if it saves me from the drama.
Okay.
I'm still getting the death, but with the drama I was trying to avoid. So, and I told you this if you check your notes. Last time I said, if I'm going to go through the drama, then I might as well fight it. Because the reason I'm giving up the fight is so that I die. The reason I'm dying is so that I don't fight it. It's so that I just surrender. I give up that right. But if I still have to go through all the hooks, why give up my right to live then? I was giving up the right to live to avoid the drama, the spectacle.
I understand.
If I still have to go through transport, move to this county, you go into this court. That's why I chose death to avoid that.
I understand.
Is there no system where I can avoid that? No. Then why die? If I'm still going to go through all this drama, why then give up my... That's why I said to you guys, I will talk to you if it guarantees me death and saves me this drama here. But if it still comes with this drama, then I am talking to you. Then if the drama cannot be avoided, then I must go fighting. I said that last time.
Okay.
Exhaustion set in. He spoke of God, of guilt, of surrender, yet he demanded shortcuts the law refused. In that standoff, detectives saw truth. He wanted death, but only on his own terms.
I don't think I've checked you guys around.
You have judges.
No, I told you that last time.
Then that's fine. You have every...
If the drama can be avoided, I'll avoid it. Kill me. But if you can't avoid the drama, then why am I dying for?
Do you want to talk to us or not?
I will if it avoids me the drama.
We can't. It's the mechanism's not in place.
Then why die for that if
I don't know. Last time you told me that God told you to do that.
They told me what?
He told me that you prayed.
Yes.
And that God said you need to give up your life because of the life you took. Or lives you took.
Yes, and I'm willing to do that.
But you're telling me that God said, well, you can do this and you don't have to go through the drama. Come on, man.
That's the process problem.
That's fine. You want to talk to us or not?
Not if I'm going to go through the same drama in Ohio.
Bye-bye.
I told you guys that's fine.
Thank you, sir.
I wasn't heard of Dr. Evers. Why not?
Okay.
You're not going to see me again. It's up to your trial. Do you want to confess to what you did? And do you want to confess to what you did? Do you want to go through the death penalty that they want to seek? And do you want to put rest to this and do the right thing? Your call, man. Do you want to do this?
I told you last time, I'm telling you the same thing. I've not changed my strategy.
You know we can't do what you're asking. You know we can't.
Then I can't do anything else about it then. If you guys, I told you the same thing. My talking to you guys avoids the trauma and takes me straight to that.
Get him out of here.
The trial ended with life in prison without parole for the killer. Justice was served at last, yet the pain of loss remains etched forever in the hearts of the victim's family.